What's going on, baby? It's Vibe Check back at you. Topic Tuesday, episode 1. Topic Tuesday is a day where we can talk about whatever we want. And for episode 1, since I've been vibing lately, I chose to do a movie review. So the movie I'm going to be reviewing is Midsommar. Sommar, not Summer. I know it's confusing. But I narrowed it down to a list of categories that I'll use to grade not only this movie review, but all future movie reviews. So that way we create a database that has compiled all the reviews of movies I've rated. So the movie's Midsommar. The categories are as follows: plot, filmography or production, predictability, the ending, the acting, the emotion, and the understandability. So those are going to be the categories I roll through, and then I've already done the math, and it gets a final grade at the end. So for starters, Midsommar, to give you the lay of the land without giving you any spoilers, because I know if you're like me, you don't want a movie to be spoiled, or you won't even watch it if you already know what's going to happen in it. But the summary of this movie is it's a cult-based movie. Essentially, imagine a group of friends going to visit a cult with their friend who's from a cult. And it just goes over how that develops and that whole process. I would say it's a psychological thriller, most likely, something along those lines. But first and foremost, the plot. All of these are graded on a scale of 1 to 5. The plot for Midsommar gets a 3.5. The plot's very interesting. It kind of has you just looking with a question mark hovering over your head the whole time. You never really catch on to what's going on, and it's just so absurd that you can't really track it, but it keeps your attention on it. Plot 3.5 out of 5. Filmography and production, I gave that a 4.8. Honestly, the production of this movie is pretty dang good. Just in the way that they use the scenes. There's different drug scenes involved with psychedelic drugs, and the way that the filmography is acting, you can truly feel how the characters are feeling, and it does a great job of letting you see what they're seeing too. So the filmography and production was probably the highlight of this movie. Undoubtedly the highlight, actually. That gets a 4.8. Predictability, 4.0. I can't give it a perfect star rating because as it plays out, there's nothing really to predict necessarily, but overall, you never really know what's going to happen next at all. It does a good job of keeping you guessing, like I said, with the question mark. So predictability gets a 4.0. The ending of this movie, lousy, not going to lie. That sits at a 1.0. I'm a big movie guy, and when it comes to the ending, there's been movies where I'll watch them and haven't enjoyed them the whole way through, and then you get to the ending, and all of a sudden that movie just skied up the ratings for you. So the ending on this was actually a 1.0. It's a lot of buildup and a lot of anticipation and question marks, and then the way that it ends is pretty flat. There's no surprise at the end or major buster that makes you wonder how all this just happened. It's just one of those constant flowing movies, and then the ending was pretty weak. The acting was a 3.5 out of 5. I give that a 3.5 because it was almost split. There's certain actors you can truly feel what they're feeling. They did a great job. They didn't seem too scripted or fundamental, I should say. But then there's a handful of the actors and actresses involved that do a really good job of building up your anxiety and, again, allowing you to feel what they felt. The emotion is a 4.0. You're probably going to have anxiety watching this movie, low key, simply because you're always guessing. You'd never really know what's going to happen. And quite frankly, it always seems like something crazy is about to happen. Once you get into it, it just always feels like something crazy is about to happen. And then lastly, the understandability. Understandability gets a 3.0 out of 5. The reason I give it a 3.0 out of 5 is because you can follow the storyline well, but understanding how this situation came about, or understanding why they would put themselves in this type of position, or why any of them wanted to continue to be there, stuff like that. So the understandability gets a 3.0. Overall, I think you get the gist on this movie. It's one of those movies that keeps you guessing the whole way through. It allows you to feel what they're feeling throughout. It allows you to see what they're seeing throughout. It's relatively longer movie. I think it's 2 hours or so, but it doesn't feel like it because you're always anticipating what's going to happen next. Falls flat at the end, unfortunately. So when I add all these up on a scale of 1 to 5 and average them by 7, Midsummer, the first movie review, gets a 3.4 out of 5. So what I'm going to be doing, just to draw out the scale a little bit, is on a scale of 1 to 10, that's going to sit at a 6.8 out of 10. So the first Vibe Check Topic Tuesday movie review lands at a 6.8 out of 10. I would recommend watching it. I think as we go through these, you and I will come to find that anything above, I would say, because I have a couple movies reviewed that I'll put out on the coming weeks, but I would say anything above a 6 is worth watching. And then anything below that would just be you want to force a movie in or whatever, and above that would be better. But you get the gist. I had fun with this. I think I'm going to have fun with Topic Tuesday moving forward. Do me a favor, if you're on our Instagram or if you're just on YouTube watching this, if you could leave a comment, let us know what topics you would want to see on Tuesday topics moving forward. That'll help me put some content together that I know you want to tune into and see. So thanks for tuning in. Midsummer gets a 6.8 out of 10. Topic Tuesday, episode 1. We out. Have a good one.